I do want to ask you guys. It's a good thing none of us are employed by MLB, But have you guys gambled on any Pittsburgh Pirates games lately? I know, Mike
Dude, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Not good, because I had the over on Jared Jones strikeouts. He had one. It was the first batter
Have
of the
you been
game.
better or worse this year than Tucupita Marcano?
I'll say there's somebody else who was gambling on some Pirate games too.
Pirates legend.
Mike, think about it. You probably bet on a lot of games with them.
I'm kind of curious, like if you went back to my ticket stamps and see what games he bet on, and let's see who is more accurate.
I really wish
it was definitely you.
Tucupita's ticket stamps, because dude, you guys see just how atrocious he was at gambling.
He only won 4.3 of his
Mike,
bets.
he's worse than you. I didn't know that was possible.
So, here, I'm good at predicting things when there's no money involved, but as soon as you put money in the ball, I'm literally stupid.
He bet on 387 games and only won 4.3% of his bets.
That's insane.
And he lost all of his Pirates-related bets.
Bro, you
That's
literally
insane.
know the
See,
team.
Part of me wants to hope, he was just super enthusiastic, and just was betting the over for everybody on the team. Come on, guys. Today we got it. Then he was just missing we'll get it tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I want to hope. But dude, 87 grand, that's quite a bit of money, to bet on the overs that keep missing.
I just don't
Dude had a lot of
understand
confidence in the
players,
Pirates.
man. You have a great career.
What do you mean?
You have a great career and you're just gonna throw it away because you want to bet on games. Or
That's just called
why?
That's just called addiction.
It's an addiction now for a lot of guys, I feel And
do you guys remember what Marcano's dad said?
What's up, Noah?
Do you remember what Marcano's dad said? How he said he was so disappointed in him.
No,
I
he did.
see
There was a
that. What?
statement.
Yeah, so Martin Perez is a parent, he worked with his dad, because his dad's a coach in in whatever country he's from, and he said how disappointed he was, and that they have plenty of money and he has no idea why he did it. I'll try and find the tweet.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I don't really get why he did it either. I mean, if it's this kind of thing though, you gotta assume it's an addiction, because he knows, front offices know, anyone who's even near an MLB franchise at all knows that you can get banned. If you're an employee, I think you can get banned for a year, if not longer, for a first offense. But if you're a player who's actively betting on the games this much, you run that risk of getting banned for life. And he wasn't the only guy, too.
Dude, there's the four others. So
they only got banned a year though. They only got banned a year because they weren't in the majors at the time when they were.
Well, and also it wasn't on their teams, right? It was on other teams.
I'm not sure.
So
I think so.
Yeah, so Jay Groom, Andrew Salfrank, Michael Kelly, and Jose Rodriguez. A bunch of dudes I have no idea who they are.
So I got the tweet.
Wait, when that came out, that there was 4 other players being investigated and they were unnamed, and then the information came out that it was Tucupita's days with the Pirates, I was like, oh my God, we're about to get 4 players get busted. I was like, please God, don't let it be like Brian Reynolds or O'Neal Cruz. That was my first thought.
Dude,
I was like,
so could you imagine that, an entire team, just 5 players from a team getting busted in the same day and just being out for the season, bye. Or even just banned for life.
Dude, I think I would have jumped.
If it's big
I would have
guys
jumped
too.
if it was O'Neal Cruz, and I was like, oh.
Man.
So the tweet from Jason Mackey said, Martin Perez played with Tucupita Marcano's father, Raul, in Venezuela, and he was not happy about the news. He said, if you have that example, why do stupid shit? You have to focus on baseball. It's not that hard. Our money is here. The best investment we can make is to play baseball.
Oh my God.
Buddy's not wrong.
He's right.
He's not wrong, but that's funny.
So yeah, what is interesting is really kind of all this came out at once, and then Mike, there was some other news that came out that day as well. It's very
Yes.
convenient, all coming out in the same day.
I just thought it was funny. So, ironically enough, MLB closed their investigation into Shohei Ohtani, being possibly show parlay, but because Ippei pled guilty to bank and tax fraud. So, quite serious charges there. So, I think Ohtani's off the hook. I just thought it was funny that it came out the same day.
He's looking at about 30 plus years in
It was like
prison
30
right now.
some years
Depends
in
on
prison.
if he gets parole or any of that.
I mean, he pled guilty, so I'd like to assume that brother's going away for a long time,
Yeah,
especially for
Yeah,
something
he'll be
like
gone
tax
for a while.
fraud.
yeah. He'll be wearing that
Bank
orange
fraud,
just
too.
like Noah's wearing right now.
It's red. It's a Washington Wild Thing shirt. The
I'm
best
sorry, I'm
independent
colorblind
team
a
in
little
baseball.
bit.
Nah, that
Shout out Wild Thing. Support
that
support
shirt
your local
definitely
baseball.
looks orange, bro.
But what do you guys think though this means? Because to me it kind of looks like MLB has a little bit of a gambling problem.
Yeah, realistically,
Dude,
though,
this
is-
but what sport doesn't have a gambling problem right now? I mean, you just see it in the NBA. Jonte Porter just got banned for life for betting on games. Like he was
There's just
taking
gonna be
the
a
under
lot
on
more.
himself.
There's gonna be honestly a lot more. I bet they're just gonna come
Oh,
out.
I'm
over the
sure.
next
I
year.
think it's going to become a growing issue, especially now as it goes. We did banter about it a little bit about a week ago. Do you guys think players should be allowed to gamble on games?
Okay, so this was a funny topic we were talking about, but like in defense of Marcano, I'm not saying what he did was right, but he was out.
Because
like
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't right. But he wasn't playing, so he had no effect on the outcome of any of the games. So I mean, like, I guess, like, so why does it matter? I mean, it's different if he was like, starting at second base on half of these games that he bet. Was in the batting order
Mhm.
and could like physically change the outcome, but like he was on the injured list, he couldn't play.
I think it would just be hilarious if they just let the players bet on themselves or on their own teams to win or to do good. Because imagine,
it would be funny.
imagine,
It would be funny.
Imagine them talking on the broadcast about like Mitch Keller having the over on strikeouts or Key Brian Hayes having the over on total bases.
Bro, you know damn well Mitch Keller is going to be out there scratching and clawing to get 8Ks. And that's what we
Dude,
need.
can you imagine if it
Dude,
was
imagine
like,
how
if
much-
MLB just one day was like, okay, guys, it's okay. If you want to bet, for your teams to win, that's fine. But you need to post your bet slips on Twitter before the game.
You need to submit your bet slip.
Bro, players would be even getting more hate mail from fans after somebody tails their bet. Be like, "Oh, you didn't hit. It's all your fault. I'm down $1,000 now."
Dude, imagine how much more intense, like, something like Mitch Keller having the over on strikeouts, saying he needs, like, 8, and he goes into the 7th inning at, like,
And
90 pitches.
that's what he has.
With, like, and he needs, like, one more strikeout.
Yeah, he hits that 100
Dude,
pitch mark and
I'd
doesn't
love to
have it.
see. I'd love to see. Do you guys know if like players' families at all are allowed to get involved on it?
Oh,
I don't
Sure.
know. That may be a rule with the sports books. Like I was thinking, you guys ever think Kate Upton bets the over for Justin Verlander on strikeouts?
I mean, why couldn't she though?
Mike, do you think you put on a same parlay as Livy Dunn on Paul Skeens?
Bro.
Nah, well, it could be something where it's like you may not be able to.
Nah, because I guess you technically do have insider information because like
Yeah, because
Your
it could be
husband is on
something
the
maybe not with MLB, but with the sports book specifically that you're too like tied to the situation.
I mean,
maybe,
I guess to an extent.
to be able to bet on it in good faith.
I don't know. I'm actually curious.
Because,
I don't know if that's a rule or
like,
not.
Like, all right, obviously, I did see it actually be thrown around on Twitter, and I did see some articles about it, just being like, "Oh, well, they should just let players do." No. That is like it's such an unbelievably bad idea. The amount of things that like could go wrong with that, especially just people within the clubhouses. They know when people will go on the IR before other people do. They'll know the lineups before other people do. There's too many factors of things that they'll know Plus, it's just in the faith of the game, you don't want people's focus. Like, as fun as it would be, you don't want Mitch Keller's focus to be on his over for strikeouts rather than just, oh, maybe we should bring in a reliever right now. I'm kind of cooked. And then telling the coach he's good and then giving up a 450 tank.
No, he wouldn't give it up. He would get that K.
Not in the best interest of baseball, that's for sure. But we did have a pretty interesting past week of Pirates baseball, didn't we, guys? We want to start with the Dodgers series in LA?
Dude,
yeah.
the Dodgers series was fun.
I mean,
Our vibes and the power
any
of
of us
friendship are better
surprised
than
that the
their
Pirates won that
1.5
series?
billion.
no, because I
No,
said that would
absolutely
happen.
not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
We own the Dodgers.
It's just like that. It's just like that meme of the old Chargers coach. Are any of us surprised what happened here today? No.
No. I mean, like, the Pirates.
Why weren't you guys surprised?
Because
I
we're
mean-
just good against good teams for some reason. And then
Yeah.
we'll go and see, that's the thing. We're good against good teams, and now we're going to face the Rockies, and I'm nervous about that series.
Well, I mean, if you look at the pitching lineups that the Pirates had in that series, I mean, they were in a pretty good spot to win those games for sure.
Oh, Jared Jones and Skeens
Yeah.
going, it definitely is. Anytime you get to start the series with those two, I mean, you feel pretty good about winning it.
Hold on, Mike, are you sure? Because I thought Skeens was just a rookie
Oh,
with
Christ.
10 days.
I thought
10
you
days of
I thought you were
service
being
time, right?
serious for a second here. I thought you were like, I was like, what the hell is he talking about right now? It's
No,
like,
I
what do you
thought
mean?
I thought he was a rookie, with 10 days of bid league service time. They're playing the Los Angeles freaking Dodgers. Not to mention what Jones did yesterday. That's
my
fine.
God.
But, no disrespect to the Pirates, but it's the Pittsburgh Pirates, right?
I sense that you're quoting
For-
something here. Do you want to elaborate?
For those of you who aren't in on the joke and don't know what I'm referencing, Alana Rizzo, who I believe she's a reporter for the Dodgers. I think she used to work for MLB Network as well.
Yeah, she was on
She was
High Heat with Mad Dog.
Yeah, that's right. She made an appearance on Dodgers podcast, which I believe this was before the third game of that series.
I
It
think
might have been
so.
after, and they were just talking about the series
Yeah.
as a whole. But this is exactly what she said. All right, we're quoting it dead on. She said, she's in the beginning here. She was referring to Paul Skeens. She said, "#1 draft pick. I mean, the guy got drafted. 300 days later, he's making his first start in the bid leagues. I get it. He's a superstar. But again, the man has not had 10 days of bid league service time," which she came up like a month ago, but all right. And this is the Los Angeles freaking Dodgers. Not to mention what Jones did yesterday. That's fine. And then she talks a little bit about what they're talking about in the production truck. And then she says, "The Dodgers look like crap offensively. Again, you're going to have these moments in time, but against the Pittsburgh Pirates, no disrespect to the Pirates organization, no disrespect to their pitching, but it's the Pirates. So no disrespect," and then immediately goes on to say
Disrespect.
something that was meant to be
Anytime you
disrespectful.
say no disrespect, like, you're about to just like
You're about to say
offend
something
the
that's
crap
very
out of
disrespectful.
whoever
Especially
you're
when you
referencing.
say no disrespect, but they are, and then you just say what they are. Like, I'm pretty sure you meant that in a dissing way.
Alana Rizzo,
But-
we are the team that has won 10 of the last 15 matchups. Thank you very much. Like,
The Dodgers are 5-10 against the Pirates since 2022, which is part of the reason I wasn't surprised they played them so well this year. But again, it also looked like this year the matchups were just gonna look really good for them heading into that series, because you had Jones, you had Skeens, and then who started the third game? Was it
Bailey Falter.
Falter, right?
Falter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't have a good game, but yeah, is what it is.
No.
Yeah, you just kind of do.
No. Falter's worst start in a while. Hey man, they may have just awoken the Los Angeles freaking Dodgers apparently. But what really got to me about this statement isn't even the fact that she's actively disrespecting the Pirates organization, who has continued to beat down the Los Angeles Dodgers for the last few years, right? She also goes on to say how, the Pirates aren't doing anything this year. They're not making the playoffs, da-da-da-da-da. Which, may be true. That may be true. They may not make the playoffs this year. We don't know yet. There's a lot of season left. We'll see how it goes. But what really got to me about this is like, not to mention what Jones did yesterday. That's fine. Like, Jones hasn't been one of, I'd say, probably the best stuff guys in the National League this year, for starters. And then,
Yeah.
And then, Paul Skeens, I know he's a superstar. He's making his first few starts in the big leagues. Really, he's the guy who a lot of people have said since, he got drafted, hey, he's a major league ready guy. There have been people who said that since he got drafted, just call him out to the big leagues. He's ready to go.
I also don't understand.
It's like
that
we're not talking about some rookie who's been in the minors for 4 to 5 years and is coming up and who is a top prospect. We're talking about a guy who had the most hype debut since when? Since forever. So why are we acting like he's just some random guy just because he shut out your $1 billion team that spent all this money in the offseason but had to defer all of it for years and years down the line just so you can make a more competitive team this year just to lose 2 out of 3 to the Pirates once again? So what are we doing? Let's stop acting like the Pittsburgh Pirates rotate. We're a big market team coming in and playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. No, you're not. You're coming in and you're facing one of the best rotations in the National League, and they're going to come in and they're going to play good ball against you, whether you like it or not. So stop coming in here really not knowing enough, apparently, about all of these great pitchers that are on this roster and acting like you're going to come into PNC and win these games. Because you're not. It's not that time anymore in this organization. It's not.
And just to Paul Skeens gave up 3 runs. I don't know
It
what
wasn't his best game,
I
but
mean,
he still did
getting
decent.
3 runs off any starter is a solid. Okay, it's also
Getting 3 runs off Skeens is a good day.
How about don't give up 10
They did
runs
not
to the
look
Pirates?
that bad.
How about don't give up 10 runs? How about that? It was more on their pitching than their offense. They scored 6 runs that game. 6
They
runs
scored
should be
7
more
runs
than
in
enough
one
to win you
inning
a
during the
game.
Jones game. The Pirates scored 6 runs in 1 inning against the Jones game, if I remember correctly.
Well, the Jones game was 1-0.
Yeah. No, I'm at the Skeens game.
That's what I mean. It's it was 6-0 after the second inning. Because James Paxton actually got torched. Ha! Bozo.
Yeah, y'all are complaining about that, and you put out you guys are acting like you're tough shit, and then you put out James Paxton in 2024. Shut up.
I mean, he's not even having that bad of a season, but at the same time, how are you going to sit there and blame your offense when your pitching gave up 10 runs to the Pirates? What? Come on.
Their bullpen also was not very good that series.
I'm still dying at Noah just throwing a stray at James Paxton.
Dude, they put in James Paxton and they put in Anthony Banda. I don't want to hear it.
Holy hell, Banda! Wow, that's void.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
No, but that's true. That's true. I think it's more so just some people getting stuck in the big market mentality. I got going there a little bit, but I think some people getting stuck in that big market mentality of, our team spent this much money, your team doesn't spend money, so therefore we should beat you. It's just so tiring, and it's just such a modern, I feel like, baseball fan moment where that happens a lot, and then fans will get upset when their team loses to a team like the Pirates, to a team like the Brewers, whoever it may be. And it's like, dude, it doesn't matter how much money you spend. This is Major League Baseball. Teams are still going to be competitive as long as they aren't in Miami. Or the south side of Chicago.
Yes, I was gonna say the White Sox, but
as of right now,
I lost my train of thought. What the hell was I gonna say? Oh my god, it was such a good point. Damn it! What the hell? Wait,
Mike, we'll have to take your word on it. But that was a pretty great series overall, right? Mike, let me know if you get back on that.
Okay, wait,
But
no,
then
I
followed
got
it
it.
up.
I got it.
Oh,
So it was actually. Did you guys see the Tyler Glasnow podcast? Like what he said about the series and
I
everything.
did not.
No, he
I did not.
basically like he got asked about like Paul Skeens and everything, and he basically said kind of how like what we said on the debut. He's like, I don't think I've ever seen a game where like the crowd was that ready and involved with like every pitch. Like he's like they were standing and cheering after every single strike. And he's like this is the best part. This is the best quote that he gave from it. He's like, I just think that the fans of the Pittsburgh Pirates are deprived. He called us deprived. He goes, because when I was there, he's like, we just flat out sucked. He's like, now it's like they have good pitching. And he's like, it's just like they're used to being good in the city of Pittsburgh, and they just want to be like, you know, they're just so desperate for a good team. And I was like, yes, Tyler
We are.
Glasnow understands us.
We are. We
It's
were
like, what a
extremely
guy.
desperate.
I did see another point he brought up on that show, which I thought was interesting to mention because I saw, you see some people on Twitter arguing about it, and we're like, well, how many people in the replies here are a major league pitcher or pitched at any level? But Glasnow, so he was asked about essentially coming into New York, that series that they were having against the Yankees, and playing for big market teams versus smaller market teams. And he was saying essentially like, off the field, like there's some stuff that's different. Like every once in a while you'll see, like I saw the Dodgers did some like random red carpet event on their night off, and there's more cameras at your locker after the games. But he essentially said like, once you're on the field, it's like all the same. Like nothing really changes. Like you play half your home games in one park. You travel to different parts. You will see bigger stadiums. Like he's like, maybe the crowd's like a little bit more intense, but in terms of like once you're out there and playing, he said there's essentially no difference, at least to him, when he's out there pitching. Playing in Dodger Stadium, playing in PNC on a random Tuesday, which the crowds were great this week for PNC. Maybe not so much over the weekend, but against that Dodgers series, it looked packed.
Even the Twins, it was pretty solid house.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
We were facing some decent teams, so there's gotta be a decent amount out there, and the weather wasn't bad either.
I think there's more excitement, around the team right now, especially with how the starters have played, and then especially how Rowdy Tellez has been playing. Guys, we know the last episode recorded, it didn't make it onto Spotify and Apple. So for those who weren't listening live, we did talk about Rowdy Tellez, and we did talk about how I at least mentioned how he should be getting playing time before they just decide to outright DFA him.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the main convo was when we thought he was gonna get DFA.
I know. I said at least if he's on the roster, give him some more playing time before you decide to DFA him. Just give him a little bit more time because he was on the bench. He was barely getting spare at bats. I'm like, no one's changing anything while that's happening. You can't improve if you don't get game at bats. It's just reality of the situation. And he started to get some at bats.
It's the funniest.
And how's he
thing
been doing,
of
Noah?
all time.
So
how's he been doing, Noah?
He has 9 hits and 19 plate appearances in June. He has 4 extra base hits, and he has only 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. He had more total bases in the last 2 Twins games than he did all of May. That's funny to think about just with all that.
Hey, man, 529 now.
See, the thing, like, we're talking about, like, it's obviously a small sample size. It's 19 plate appearances. But there's one hit during the Twins series that was like, I was like, oh, well, maybe he actually is back. It was like that moment. It wasn't the home run. It was during the third game. It was his last hit. It was that single again. It was that single.
It was that little opposite field shot, right?
And to me, that was like, oh, shit, maybe he actually figured something out because he reached out and it was a pitch down and away, almost out of the strike zone. And he pokes it the other way against the shift for a single. And I'm watching, I'm thinking, like, 2 weeks ago, Rowdy doesn't even come close to making contact with that if he swings at it at all. That was my first thought. I was like, he doesn't even come close to making contact with that, let alone hitting it, or even taking the bat off his shoulders. So that was a moment like, well, maybe he actually has figured something out, because it was, again, it's like he's been doing good recently, and he just hit something that he wasn't hitting a few weeks ago.
Well, he did make some changes to his swing. Noah, do you want to walk us through some of those changes?
So according to Dan Zangrilli on Twitter, he said Tellez went back to a script mentality, and that he had FaceTime calls with his dad, the man who drafted him, and D. Brown, who was his childhood hitting coach. So he got some instruction from those guys.
So he got some instruction from outside of the Pirates organization.
He got
That sounds a little
Interesting.
familiar to me, doesn't it?
he got instruction from someone other than Andy Haynes. I mean, if this is true, if Rowdy is truly like turning something around, he's not bad, and it's because it traces back to around this time when he was having those calls with other people outside the organization. It's like, this is the third time it's going to happen for the third season in a row. O'Neal Cruz did in 2022. Ke'Bryan Hayes did it last year. And now if Rowdy does it this year, I mean, what's there left to say about Andy Haynes? It's just upsetting.
I think the best thing with Rowdy was the fact that he got a curtain call.
That was fun.
Oh, yeah, he did.
After his home run.
After the homer?
Rowdy. That was just, dude.
Was it?
The first
I'll
thing.
say, I can't remember if it was that game, but I remember earlier in the series he was still getting booed by some people.
No,
He
yeah,
was getting booed that game.
It was that game.
It was that game?
Yeah, he got
'cause
booed that game because he
got out his
like
first
grounded into a
at-bat.
double play earlier.
And yeah, he hits the solo shot, and I got a text, and my dad was like, "Man, I know that feels good." He's like, "If I'm Rowdy, I know that feels great." Like,
That one just barely sneaked over the wall, too.
that's
in
just
center.
that's the one that you like. Like that's momentum changer. The one that barely gets out. Like, it just feels like something's going your way. Finally, I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
hey, if he starts hitting, we don't need a first baseman anymore at the deadline. We have problem solved. Rowdy figured it out. One less problem.
Yeah, and then you can use that maybe on getting a reliever
Tanner Scott
Or an
Preferably.
outfielder.
or an outfielder.
because
Not Tanner Scott's
was a
overrated. He's only a
situation-
rental.
There's a bit of a situation on Sunday where it looked like we ran out of relievers, but there was one reliever left.
What do you
In the
mean?
bullpen.
Is like the best Pirates prospect of all time, Ben Heller.
I thought you were-
Ben Heller, the guy with the negative 1.1 WAR with 2
Dude,
innings pitched.
I felt so bad for that kid. He was.
I feel bad for him too.
He did a post game interview, and he didn't have to do a post game interview, but he trudged through it, and apparently he was like on the verge of tears. And I mean,
He knew
I
he
would've-
was done.
I mean, he was so upset. Obviously, you would be upset after doing what you just did, and it's just I felt awful because he was put in an awful. I mean, he wasn't put in a great situation to start with, but still, that's just so disheartening, and it's just hard not to feel some sympathy for him.
Well, Ben Heller is also the reason that we couldn't upset Alana Rizzo a little more and swept the Dodgers. Tie game, and it went from 4-4 to 10-4 on a blink of an eye, snap of the fingers.
Yeah.
Same with extra innings, man.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is every roster spot matters, especially, every once in a while if you have to throw in a bullpen game or your bullpen's getting tired over the stretch of a few days. You need that extra spot, and you need it to be a guy who isn't going to give up 6.
Timeout. And I know you both are going to agree with me. You mean to tell me that Ben Heller is better than Roansy Contreras? Bullshit. He is not better than Roansy Contreras. Yeah, we DFA'd him way back when. No way. Roansy's
I'm just saying,
doesn't he have like a
it wasn't-
3.5 ERA
The
with the
decision
Angels?
the decision wasn't between Rowanzi Contreras and Ben Heller.
No, I'm
That's
not saying it
what
is, but I'm
was.
just saying the point is they DFA'd him prematurely. And now we were
Obviously,
left
I'd
in
rather
this
have-
situation with Ben Heller being the line, like our last line of defense. You don't want that.
Obviously, I'd rather have Rowanzi Contreras than Ben Heller. But I mean, it's just
Jeez.
like
Dude,
I
even
mean,
Wa-
I'm
Rowanzi's
sure
Rowanzi
done
Ryan-
kinda-
it wasn't it wasn't projected by anyone for him to have this start as soon as he comes to the bigs.
Okay, no.
How is he doing in the minors this year?
Doing
before
awful.
He got called up?
He wasn't doing awful. He had a couple bad outings, but he really wasn't doing that bad. I mean,
okay.
The thing that I really,
his last 2 games were generationally bad performances. Like I was telling you guys on Sunday, like I don't think I've seen a worse pitched major league inning than this. Part of it because they did leave him out there to die. Okay, you can tell he didn't have it, and they left him out there to die because he's the only guy
options.
left. Mike, they were warming somebody up, weren't they? Who was it?
Edward Olivares. Dude,
see, I turned off the game at this point because I saw we didn't walk it off in the 9th.
I wanted him.
I just saw we didn't walk it off in the 9th.
That actually would
have
been so insane. If you see a guy get pulled for a position player,
dude, Joe Block, he said it like 4 times on the broadcast. He's sitting there. He's like, "Well, you know, you can use position player in extra innings." like, man, he has no faith in Ben Heller.
So this is like the first time I'm hearing about Edward Olivares warming up because I had turned off the game at that point,
dude.
Because
he was in the dugout, like doing that arm stretch.
He's
where you
like,
go across,
he started doing
this.
like windmills.
Yeah, it's like
throwing arm, and he put
because we didn't walk it off, and I knew our bullpen was absolutely cooked. I was like, yeah, we're gonna need like a.
It kind of looked like he wanted to come in almost too. Like if you're looking at him on the bench, he almost looked excited.
Oh my gosh. I just dude, seeing the Kyle Nicholas inning in the Paul Skeens debut, we were sitting there and we literally said, this might be the worst inning I think I've ever witnessed in baseball. Dude, I didn't think it was going to get one up quite literally a month later. Like
twice, not once, twice.
How? Like I didn't think it was possible that he did it a month later.
Honestly, Kyle Nicholas has not looked good since that outing because he's just been all over the place.
One last thing on Heller. I believe his ERA heading into the second game on Sunday was 45.
Yes.
And it went up after his second outing.
Yeah, 74.25.
Which, yeah.
ERA now.
Yeah. Ben, we wish you the best. You know, we know you are a better pitcher than that.
Hey, but that shouldn't even have. He shouldn't have had to come into the game.
We should
have already won.
Even been out there.
We should have already won.
That's exactly what I was getting to, Mike. You're right on the same page with me.
Call. That is such a bullshit call, dude.
This is one of the worst calls I've seen all year. And it has been a bad year, man.
It was in the first inning, and Byron Buxton very clearly foul tipped a ball on a check swing, but they ruled it a passed ball.
Dude,
it was not only was it ruled a pass ball, but then all the umpires got together and they said, "Oh yeah, that was a pass ball." Like, what are you looking? Like, were all the umpires' eyes closed or something?
You could literally hear it, because at first I thought he hit Buxton right at first, because it was so loud. I was like, okay, so it either hit him or it was the knob of the bat. There was no in between. It's Jared Jones and Henry Davis reacted as if it was a foul ball. They didn't move it first. And then all of a sudden, I thought it was a foul ball or he was hit. And then I'm like, oh, why are the runners running?
There was such an obvious... he called him safe. Such an obvious... I posted on the Rum Bunter Twitter account because I run that right now. And it's such an obvious angle. It's how could you possibly have missed this? It doesn't... I mean, not only is one angle show that it was clearly hit the bat, but the second angle shows that Henry Davis never even came close to touching the ball. It wasn't even close.
You also see it, anyone who has an understanding of physics or can just look at something and be like, it's not supposed to move that way without some weird type of contact. You can tell it goes steaming off. If that ball were to just, it is a possibility, okay, that it could have hit Davis's glove if Buxton never hit it. It could have hit Davis's glove if it hits that inner part where the thumb is and then shoots off to the right. That is possible.
Okay, but at that velocity...
But, listen,
come
Mike,
on.
Give me a second.
All right.
But it would never hit off and ricochet with that type of speed into the bat stop without making contact with the bat.
Exactly. No, if it hit his glove and it proceeded to ricochet that fast, somebody get the doctor out there because that brother's hand is gone. The glove is gone too. It's broken. He's on
like
the injured
the
list.
the glove acts
I don't even
almost
think
like a
Henry
suppressant
touched it.
to that to the baseball coming in. It acts as a suppressant once it's hit. Even if it just hits the glove and he doesn't catch it, and it just hits the outside of his glove,
It would slow
it's
down.
not going to go faster into the bat stop. That is not possible.
No, and then of course, Shelton comes out and he's like, "Hey, one of you guys seen it?" They all get together, and
And
it's
they all
just
get
like,
together and they're like,
No,
no.
I saw the home plate umpire. He points at the second base guy. You can see him look like, "Hey, you see it?" And then all you see is his eyes light up and his shoulders shrugs like, "Oh no, I didn't see it. I didn't. I don't
The
know."
one thing
It's
that
like, dude, come on.
Another
Are you kidding
one
me?
thing that kind of frustrated me that I saw on Twitter was people saying like, Shelton should have like went out there and got ejected. It's like it's an unreviewable call. There's not getting ejected. Is just gonna
And that's
put
that's
us in
the
a
problem
bad
with it now, is
situation.
it being an unreviewable
Oh
call.
yeah, that's the worst part. The fact we have every time something is reviewed, there's like dozens of cameras around this stadium. There's StatCast that tracks the exit velocity and spin rate and movement of every pitch and batted ball since 2015. We have 3D modeling. Every time the Pirates hit a home run, they show a 3D model of it, and yet somehow things like this aren't reviewable. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. Why
there
aren't things
were-
like this
I just think if
reviewable?
it's that
Every
blatantly
play
obvious.
should
there
be
were
reviewable.
people there were people who have the argument, and they said, "Oh, well, if you made things like this reviewable, the games are going to be 4 hours long." Dude, this would
Quite
have
literally,
taken,
this would have
what,
took 5
30,
seconds.
30 seconds,
Dude.
a minute
Not
tops.
even.
And it's like, this doesn't happen all the time.
No.
This does not happen all the time, where it's a situation like this where the umpires on the field are oblivious enough that they don't see that, and then you need to go to replay. I'd say probably 95% of the time, I'd like to hope a Major League Baseball umpiring crew will be able to see that and be like, "Oh no, foul ball, go back." That's it.
Like, at least
But
one
for-
of them.
But the reason, if we go back to it, the reason we had to do all of this back in 2014, because everyone had to complain about it and replay came in, is for situations like this, when it's something where you're watching your TV and you're absolutely dumbfounded, wondering what is taking place on the field, how a call like this can be made. Oh, we have cameras, we have people in New York who can look at this and give us the proper call. Yes! That's the entire point of it. So if we're going to have it, let's use it. I understand if people don't want to use it for balls and strikes every single pitch, but for something like this, when it comes into effect, because people missed it, frankly, they missed the call, then let's use it. If it's
People-
there and it's already in place, let's use it so we don't have to keep talking about it.
People on Twitter found the exact angle of where the ball hit the bat in like 10 seconds. New York would have found it in less time.
See, I like. So you kind of mentioned it, Dawson, with like balls and strikes. It's like it's been very bad this year too. That's another argument. But like, I think if they did do that and reviewed something like balls and strikes, you'd have to like limit it to a certain amount per inning, or like per game.
I personally, I'd rather not have balls and strikes reviewed at all. I like to keep that with human umpires, even with how the zones have been this year. But I mean that's something we can get into in the off season. But I also like to point out that Codify put out a tweet asking, should plays like the one in Pittsburgh be made reviewable? 96% of people said yes. So
I'd like to know
With-
what the
I think
4%
most
are
people-
thinking.
7,000
most
votes.
people aren't. Most people are in agreement on.
I'd
this,
just like to know
I'd
what those like
think.
4% of people were thinking with no.
Then those are just all the old people on Twitter that are just nostalgic for how the game is and the unwritten rules and everything else like that.
Yep.
That's who said no. The Weasels or Twins fans. The Twins fans.
But yeah, no, I did see a couple Twins fans saying like, I did see a few say we earned this call based off the ump show that has been this weekend, and I'm like, brother, you still got shut out on back-to-back days, man. That's only so much on the umpires if you want to put it on them. Like, go ahead, sure, whatever makes you sleep at night. That's good for you, pal.
You got shut out in a
But they-
bullpen game. Boyd.
Yeah, exactly. But the bullpen, while we're on it, currently is lacking a little depth. You know, Ben Heller, he did get DFA'd today or yesterday. It was today, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
claimed
okay.
Nico Goodrum on waivers to take his spot on the roster. Well,
Well,
before
then he got sent down to AAA, didn't
yeah,
he?
they sent him to
Yeah.
AAA. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but guys, it's looking like we're gonna need more help than that, right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to go get. I mean, Chapman's been looking better recently. So has Bednar. Holderman's been great all year. Luis Ortiz pitched outstanding.
He's been great, yeah, in the long reliever
Yeah,
role.
he's been
great.
really good in multi-inning. So I mean, it's just like we need more of those middle relievers and kind of other guys just can come in and just give us some solid innings and depth. I mean, that's the thing we're missing.
We need one more bat, and one more bullpen pitcher, and this team could be great. They have the starting pitching to be great.
I think they should ask the Marlins about AJ Puck because I think he's a very solid lefty reliever, and he's someone that can also occasionally handle high leverage.
How about no,
And-
brother? Don't want him. Did we not? He's the
AJ
same
Puck
dude
could
we
be
taxed
interesting.
in the first series. I don't want him. No.
That's because the
Because
Marlins
they're
are
trying to
stupid and
make
use
him
him
a
as a
starter.
starter.
That is not how he should be used.
No, it's not. But I want Tanner Scott. I've been pretty dead set on that one.
Nah, Scott's overrated. He's walking more batters than Aroldis Chapman.
No. It's okay.
He has some insane walk rate. I would rather not have two lefties who occasionally cannot find the zone.
See, hey, but speaking of the Marlins, I still think that we need to give him a call about Jazz Chisholm, who is now officially the most overrated player in baseball. But I want him on the Pirates.
Apparently,
He's
he
my
is,
most
yeah.
overrated
according to the
player.
players.
That was such a
According
weird
to-
poll.
Whoever
That's so
players
shit.
did that poll. Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're referencing, the Athletic released their anonymous player poll today, which asked who was the most overrated player in the league according to other players. Number one, Jazz Chisholm got like 20% of the vote, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of those didn't surprise me. Some of the ones that got like one vote, like someone voted Jamer Candelario as an overrated player. I'm like, dude, who out here is overrating Candelario?
That was the hipster pick in there. Someone threw in Juan Soto.
Someone threw in
Someone threw Soto in there.
Someone threw in Emmanuel Clase from the Guardians, who's led the league in
Javier
saves the last 3
Baez.
years.
I saw he got a vote. Bro, who's overrating Javier Baez in the big 2024?
Dude, like, the only reason Clase and Soto got, like, voted is probably because Clase probably struck out this brother, whoever voted
I was gonna say
him,
it was probably a spite
end
vote.
the game, and Juan Soto did the shuffle on one of these pitchers that voted him, and now they're salty about it. So,
I was gonna say it's probably a spite vote.
yeah, like, there's just no way. Dude, Juan Soto's literally going to win MVP of the
That's
American
funny.
League, but yet he's overrated. All right.
Not gonna
Whatever.
lie, I feel like I would probably do that if
Dude,
I
I
was a
wanna
pitcher
know
in the
what's-
bigs. Just give a spite vote to just some batter who just
I
owns
just
you.
want to know who voted Jamer Candelario of all players. Like, is that really a spite vote? Like, what could Jamie of all players? I understand Juan Soto being a spite vote. I understand Emmanuel Clase being a spite vote. Dude, did you really get owned by Jamer Candelario?
Yeah, no. That was a good one. I liked that one. You know, we should get a little bit into today. No, I hope you're ready because we have a farm report to talk about today, don't we?
Yeah. The Pirates promoted Braxton Ashcraft to AAA. He is their top prospect. Over his last 6 starts, he has a 1.89 ERA, 35.4% strikeout rate, 4.6% walk rate, and has only allowed 2 home runs in 33 and a third innings. And when you already have Jared Jones, Mitch Keller, and Paul Skeens. Two of them have been like two of the best rookies in baseball. It's really like, oh, we might have another ace in AAA.
I mean, hopefully all pans
at-
out and we see him in 2 to 3 weeks. That would be great.
See, the thing that's so promising with Ashcraft is that he barely pitched the last couple of years. Last year he didn't throw more than 4 innings in any start because he only pitched less than 50 innings from 2020 to 2022. He had some arm injuries. He had Tommy John. And last time he went 7 innings and pitched over 90, and he threw over 90 pitches. So it's another being like, oh man, we have like another ace in AAA that could take over a rotation spot and form a super rotation.
Dude, I think he's going to be very good. I just hope he doesn't go to AAA and starts getting shelled, because
Honestly,
I
I
want
just
him
don't
up
even
here
care about
sooner rather
AAA
than
stats at this
later.
point.
Whether
Yeah.
whether we convert him into a reliever or not, like, I just want him to be good.
Honestly, I just don't even care about AAA stats at this point because like the league average in AAA right now is just like insane and it hates pitchers. Like
I
if
mean,
you have like a
true.
450
That's
ERA,
in the,
you're
that's
like
in the international
good.
league too, dude. You should see how bad it is in the PCL.
Yeah. Dude, the PCL, you would like have an 800
even
OPS
worse.
and you're like,
Well,
bad.
it's you have so many stadiums over here too that are, well, it's either A, hot, like insanely hot, or B, they're at elevation. So that doesn't help either.
moonshots.
And then also, wait, isn't it in AAA? I could be mistaken. It could be an A ball, but isn't it in AAA where they're testing every once in a while balls and strikes? It's like
I think it's all minor
Yeah.
leagues now, isn't it?
what it's
Well, it's
isn't it one week
it's
they
at
do,
least
one week they
AAA.
don't?
It's at least AAA.
Yeah,
they're
because they
testing
don't
it.
have. That's right, because they don't have it at some of the lower level stadiums. They don't have the technology to do it.
Yeah, that was the big thing with Jared Jones last year because he went from AA to AAA, and he had to basically readjust with all that, going from no automated strike zone to an automated strike zone.
So Braxton's coming into AAA, coming into a league where the hitters are doing much better. He's jumping into, a league with more experienced guys and some major league guys. And he's also jumping into a league where they're going to be using the automated ball and strike zone at least every other week. So expect to see a little bit of a fall off there, don't we?
Obviously, I mean,
Well, I'm not
first, I don't
expecting him
expect
to,
him
like-
to continue to put in 189 ERA, but like,
Yeah.
I expect like as long as he does okay and just like doesn't like walk more batters than he strikes out, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I agree. I don't expect him to go out there and shut out AAA and then come up and be, the next Jared Jones or Paul Skeens and immediately
See,
dominate.
here's the thing.
But
Here's the thing. Pirates fans are going to have unrealistic expectations of Braxton Ashcraft because of how good Jones and Skeens have been, and they're going to expect him to come up and post like an ERA under 3 because, again, Jones and Skeens have been so outstanding. And, I mean, I've already seen it with Jones and Skeens where, like, Jones didn't have a great outing and everyone was said, maybe we should send him down. Maybe he wasn't
Bust.
ready. Yeah.
no,
Yeah, no. It's ridiculous.
especially because I saw people say like, "Oh, maybe Jared Jones just like isn't that good," and like he was just getting lucky. I was like, dude, he's not just getting lucky. He pounds the zone. No rookie has that much has that good of a command. It just like
He also
doesn't
just
happen.
gets-
It's not.
he's also
often.
just
And
Good at getting
there-
over adversity.
there's someone else who hasn't been getting lucky. He's just been pitching damn good, and that's Mitch Keller, baby.
Money Mitch,
Money Mitch.
dude. See, Noah flipped the script for me on Mitch Keller. Noah has been through hell.
I
with
told
Mitch Keller.
everyone Mitch Keller's going to be good, and no one wanted to listen to me. I remember there was one game he blew up in like 2021, and Dawson went with some of our friends from college, and Dawson told them to all message me, Mitch Keller sucks.
I do not remember anything of the sort.
We were
You
also in
did.
attendance when he gave up 7 runs to the Cardinals in 3 innings.
That is
And
true.
we were like, bro,
And
this
then
is
we were
just the
also
normal.
there like 1 year later for his complete game shutout.
We were there.
No, we've been through it all with Mitch, man.
And
But he's been dealing lately. 39.2 innings, 33 hits, 5 runs, 7 walks, 35 Ks, 1.008 whip, 1.13 ERA, 6-0 win-loss. Everyone's favorite stat, wins and losses. But he could break AJ Burnett's record of consecutive starts of at least 5 innings pitched, franchise record. And he currently has 44, and he needs 49.
I think it's 49, but still, I mean,
I think he gets
I
that.
love AJ Burnett.
Maybe 49.
I mean, he's
Either
been
way,
pretty
I
close to
love-
100
it's in the
pitches in like
40s.
all of his starts. So I'd like
It's
to
in the
assume
40s, but
he gets there.
I love AJ Burnett, but I still hope that Mitch Keller breaks the record. AJ Burnett's one of my favorite Pirates of all time, but I'm still gonna be happy when Mitch Keller breaks it because I've been a Mitch Keller fan since day one, and nobody wanted to believe in him, and I was here. I've been here through it all.
No, Noah definitely, he got me
I've earned
believing.
it.
We remember. We can vouch for you now.
I've earned
He
it.
flipped. He flipped our script of Mitch Keller, and then I had to do the same thing. I had to defend this brother to my friends. And now he's finally doing good. It's like it's paying off.
Dude, I remember at the start of the year he kind of had a couple of shaky starts in April, and I remember
was shaky,
seeing-
yeah.
Well, dude, he
I
had like
remember
a
someone was
5.18
Like,
ERA.
we gave him money now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Everyone thought that we overpaid him, and now it's looking like he could be like one of the biggest bargains in baseball.
Oh, dude, 70. Wait, what
He
was it,
will
like
be for
75
starters
mil?
with the rate they're going out now. Yeah,
Yeah, and you're
especially a
gonna get-
starter. If he could keep this up with just how consistent he's been and going out there, even if his numbers fall off a little bit, just going out there giving you 5 is such just a important guy to have in your rotation every 5 days, knowing he's going to go out there, he's going to give us a quality start. That's so important, especially for major league managers now who have to balance that bullpen. And then you don't have to go to, guy number 6, 7 in the bullpen and give up 6 in the top of the 10th. That never happens. Or at least it happens less when you have a guy like Mitch in the rotation.
See, I think a big thing with Mitch's success recently is just having Jones and Skeens there too. It gives him kind of some protection and a little bit of pressure off himself from being like the ace. Because I mean, that's what he's been the last 2 years. He's expected to be the ace, but now we have Jones and Skeens. So again, takes a little bit of pressure, and he does. And
He is
it
no
puts
longer
him-
the ace.
Well, and now he's the number 3
Quote,
starter, and our
unquote.
number 3 starter has an ERA under 2 over his last 6 starts. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. This is just the Pittsburgh Pirates, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, we're just Pirates. We're not good.
All right. Before we get to the Pirates future games coming up, they do have an off day today. I
Much
guess
needed.
we can go we can go over it now before we talk about a little bit of cricket. But at the Cardinals for the next 3 games, and then at Colorado. You
The
guys
big
ready to see
series.
Rowdy hit one like 450 feet?
Yes.
Again, I was
wanna
more
get
nervous
rowdy.
about. I'm more nervous going into this Colorado series than I was going into the Dodger series.
Do you have any idea how the Pirates have been recently playing in Colorado?
Honestly,
I know
it's been
they've
good.
but
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
it
feel
still
like it's
makes
good.
me
I say it
nervous.
feels like it's been good.
I feel like
They-
St.
I
Louis is the
remember-
one to worry about.
yeah,
I feel like we just
Yeah.
don't
We haven't
play
played
good in
St.
St.
Louis yet.
Louis.
we haven't played St. Louis yet, so we don't know how they are really.
See, okay, before we also move on, I just want to call out 2 Pirates. Jack Sawinski and Henry Davis.
Nah, it's all Andy Haynes' fault. I'm putting it all on Andy
Please,
Haynes.
for the
Haynes
love of
them
God,
struggling.
hit a baseball. Henry Davis, 1 for 12 with 8 Ks since he's been recalled. Jack Sawinski, 3 for 16 with 9 Ks. 28
hit
at
that home
bats,
run.
17
He won us
Ks.
the Dodgers game. He won us the Dodgers game.
Jesus.
He won us the Dodgers game. You gotta give him that at least.
Oh yeah, I'd like to not look back at one game and be like, oh yeah, that's where Jack Sawinski was good. I'd like to look at it and be like, oh, he's had a solid season so far, not just one game.
I'm still gonna pin
Yeah.
it all on Andy Haynes until otherwise. Because we've
I
had
mean,
now 3 players go elsewhere. and
Jad's
do good.
been struggling pretty much all year. Davis, we've seen flashes from him at least in the past, and then He goes down to the minors and he looked great. Looks like he made some changes to his swing. Comes back up.
I don't think
Nothing
he
doing.
would have got called up if Bart didn't get hurt. And Grant Cook
Oh,
absolutely
probably-
sucking.
Probably not.
Grant
Yeah,
Cook
probably
was
not.
Grant Cook was only here because Jason DeLay was hurt too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like Davis would still be down right now if DeLay was healthy.
Yeah.
And
Bart.
I think it's only a matter of time. I miss Andy Rodriguez so much. He'd
I do
solve our
too,
first
dude.
base and our catching
Yeah.
problem.
He's also just such a good
Keep
leader too.
both.
You know who else I miss? I miss Dowry Moretta. Dude, I miss that brother so much.
Oh, Money Moretta.
Dude, even Oviedo, he could be in the pen right now if we really, really needed him to be. Honestly, so wait, if he was healthy, I would assume Falter would be in the pen.
Probably. Falter might not even make the team, I'm going to be honest, if he was healthy.
That's crazy. And now that brother solidified himself in the rotation. oh man.
That rotation bunt, like, kind of pile up we talked about a few years ago is going to be there, isn't it?
Oh, dude, hell yeah. Especially when you figure Bubba Chandler and Solomito are going to be ready eventually. So
Priester's so gone, isn't he? He's so
I
good.
think he has to be a deadline trade piece, right? I'd assume so.
Yeah.
I
feel like
think
he'd be like one of the
I
headliners,
feel
right?
like that's been coming for a while. You know,
I think you got
love you, Priester, but it's just
No, I wanted Quinn to be
looking
so
like-
good. Like, I
yeah.
really
Well,
did.
I think too a change of scenery could be good for him. you
Priester
know?
honestly hasn't been bad. He has not been
No,
bad. at all.
he hasn't.
He's been
It's
just-
he's
looking
been
like
inconsistent.
he's going to be the odd man out.
He's just
it-
been a
it- out of
solid
the
back
five.
of the rotation guy, but I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because he could be a 5 in Pittsburgh. He could be, but it looks like they're going to have better options. And you can't keep him in AAA. He can't be a quad A guy forever, just going back and forth. So it's like, you might as well call him up.
And he definitely has some
and
value because he's got.
send him off.
How many more years of control does he have, Noah? Do you know that?
oh yeah. I mean, he debuted last year, so it's like he's not even close to arbitration yet.
Yeah, but what he was drafted in what 18?
2019. But I mean,
19,
again,
19?
2019. But again, he just came up last year, so it's not. So he still has a couple years before he even gets to arbitration.
Exactly. Okay, so there's value right there in a contract, like of how many years of control. So I mean, I think he will be a headliner. I really wish like it would have worked out with him because I really liked Priester. But
Priester
he-
reminds
yeah.
the thing I'm scared of is Priester reminds me of Charlie Morton.
yeah, because Morton never threw that hard. He just
Morton
had,
does. I mean, Morton never was a hard thrower. They have about the same velocity on their sinkers. Morton was a huge sinker ball pitcher in Pittsburgh. Then he goes elsewhere, starts to throw really hard again, and all of a sudden he's really good. The only thing that's the thing I'm concerned with Priester is because he showed velocity early in his minor league career and just kind of I don't know if he lost it or it's because of how he's told to pitch, but yeah.
I mean, even if Priester does go somewhere else and does become really good, I honestly don't. You think we're at the point now where that's not that big of a
Yeah.
loss
I think it'd be
with the guys you have coming? It's just kind of it is what it is situation.
but
Really,
it also depends.
As long as we get
on-
someone decent back, that's all I care about.
that was
if
what
we
I was going
trade
to
him.
say. I was going to say if the return
yeah. Well,
is good,
especially
then
if you're
I don't
trading him
care.
for a bat, especially if you're trading him for a bat, then it's like,
Dude, this Pirates
alright.
team needs the 2024 edition of the Marlon Byrd acquisition back in
Yeah.
the day for our playoff push.
We need that and a couple relievers.
That's right. Dude, I'd lose my mind. Okay, wait, before I say this. So, I was going to say Luis Robert, right? That's who my ideal trade target is as a bat. But did you see what they're asking for? They said that they want
Yeah, they
a
said they
Juan
want, like,
Soto
they
Juan
want
type
more
Soto.
than Soto.
bullshit.
They're gonna get laughed at.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Oh my
me?
God.
Dude, dude,
You
that's
know,
like
do you want
that's
Bay
like
and Priester
giving
and
up-
we'll give
Luis
you 10
Robert's
bucks. How
great.
about that?
He's not Soto, man.
That's not gonna do it though. Even if they lower their price, that's not even gonna do
No,
it.
I know. I'm
Dude,
just
I think
kidding.
Jazz is gonna get more than Luis Robert. To be honest with you,
Why do you think that?
Luis Robert hasn't been that great this season to start. He's only had
Well,
what?
but he was hurt,
44
though.
at bats.
He was hurt.
I
He was
know.
hurt, but
Exactly,
also
though.
again, it's
You
got
got to consider that.
It's that potential, and he also has a pretty team friendly contract.
How long's he on for? Do you know?
I think it was. Let me look it up here. But yeah, I just know that I remember he signed that extension not that long ago. I think it was either it started last year. I think he is under control.
I forget how
through
long that extension was. Because that might change something.
How? Okay, wait.
27.
27.
And what about Jazz? 26.
He came up in 2021, so
He might be 25.
I don't think it's 25. I don't think I know he's not a rental. That's all I know, really. But Jazz, he's a free agent after 2026.
Okay. Yeah, even with that year difference, I think Jazz will get more than him.
I like Taylor Ward from the Los Angeles Angels.
I also like Taylor Ward. No, I like him too.
I always talk about Taylor Ward because he's just a decent player.
Taylor Ward is probably the more realistic
expectation. If you give me Taylor Ward and AJ Puck, we're going to go places.
Nah, see, it's another
Mike,
one I saw.
I know you don't like AJ Puck, but you just got to learn if Noah's on, Baseball Savant all day looking at a player and he says he's good, he probably is.
Okay, I'm not even talking about AJ Puck. I'm still talking about my center fielder. I want my bat. Okay, tell me the vibes of Pittsburgh wouldn't go through the roof if we call the New York Mets and get Starling Marte back. Tell me that would be awesome.
That would be fun.
That would be dude. That would be electric. Like Marte back in the Berg.
Dude,
oh yeah,
even crazier.
The vibes would be insane.
Marte and
then we gotta bring back the Zoltan.
We get Marte from the Mets, and then we go to the Marlins and get Puck and Josh Bell.
Yes, bring it all.
Bring the band back together.
The 2015 Pirates are back.
Oh yes,
that'd be fun.
We just gotta make sure Neil Walker be on commentary for that game.
All right, speaking of fun, guys, let's talk about some cricket.
Yes. Boo, cricket's not fun.
Dude, that was such a funny argument.
I never thought this would ever be a sidebar on this show, as we ever get to talk about cricket. But today we're doing it. Today we are doing it. So I feel bad for anyone who's listening to this that missed the glory that was the baseball fans versus cricket fans war on Twitter about a week ago. But every once in a while, you'll get something. It's like when people, Americans, will like to talk crap about America, right? Because there's a lot of stuff going on in America that isn't great, let's be honest. But, you have a European that comes in and talks about America, then you turn into a bald eagle and you're ready to go. This was that for baseball fans. So it all started. Let me pull up the original tweet. So it was a throw. Was it from Soto?
It's Aaron Judge.
Judge.
It was Judge.
It's Aaron Judge in right field. Make it a throw to second base. All right.
And it's like
the original tweet comes from right on the dime. The original tweet comes from Baseball's Greatest Moments, and this is from a few years ago because Judge isn't right, and it looks like Didi's at short.
Yeah.
And
wait, I gotta watch this video here.
It says, "I cannot stop watching this video. This throw is perfect." Right?
Yeah, it's definitely Didi Gregorius. So
then this cricket guy comes in, and he says, "I genuinely think if the average American watched a single game of top-level cricket, their head would simply explode." Which this tweet got 49.5 million views on Twitter.
Holy shit.
The entire
it's only been 9 days.
Baseball world united to go after this brother. Some of my favorite tweets coming from this. This one from Devers Enjoyer. It's a soccer manager getting very fired up, and it says, "Cricket fans watching a low 80s pitch that is always in the exact same spot get a 55-degree launch angle, but still clear the fence for the 46th time in a game."
That one got 1.4 million
and it's just
views.
a soccer manager getting hyped. There's another one of a man who's just absolutely bamboozled, and it said cricket fans after seeing one Jordan Hitch two-seamer.
Dude, they wouldn't know what to do
And
with
then-
the Paul Skeens Splinker.
Oh my god, no, they wouldn't.
Dude, those brothers wouldn't even know what to do with a Ryder Ryan sinker.
Oh my god, they wouldn't. So it was just a glorious couple days of just back and forth cricket fans. You know, I saw a cricket fan showing someone make like an underhand throw, and then someone replied and said, "Oh, I'd like to see them do this." And it's that Raciel Iglesias throw when he's on the Tigers and just throws it from like the ground. You guys know what I'm talking about at short when he just barehands it,
Yeah.
dude. It's just every
Jose
baseball
Iglesias.
person just one upping them. But the best part about it was really just everyone coming together just to make fun of cricket and just seeing baseball fans. You know, it's that meme of you know, you have the red bandana and the blue bandana, and you know they're tied together, throwing it in the air. You saw Red Sox fans and Yankee fans uniting, Giants, Dodgers, Pirates, Cubs, everyone came together to universally hate on cricket, and it made sure they knew that baseball was better. And if it couldn't get any better than that, 4 days later, the best timing for this there could possibly be. I didn't know if you guys know this. I didn't know it until the game was over, or the match was over. My bad. Until the match was over. The United States is playing in some international cricket.
Yeah, it's like
you know,
under 20 tournament, I believe. I think it was U20.
I don't think it was U20 because the guy who's like the captain of the US is like a executive at Oracle.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Like that's his day job.
False information.
So unless
There's
that
a
guy's
misinput.
20, which he might, I don't think he was. I think it was just a straight up, almost like a World Cup or international tournament type thing for cricket, right? The U.S. then goes in and beats Pakistan, one of the best, if not the best, cricket like powerhouse in the world. So they say, this is the cricket people. This isn't me talking. All right. It was deemed the biggest upset in the sport history, and they were plus 600 on underdogs to take the victory. I would say what the final score was. I don't know cricket that well.
Oh, I don't know.
There's nothing. There's nothing better, man, to get me in the mood for, you know, some 4th of July and for some summer baseball than just the U.S.
America
rolling in and beating some country where the sport means everything to them, and everyone in the U.S. didn't even know the match was happening until it was over.
Dude, there are some posts that some people were making, like, the American mind couldn't comprehend this. And, dude, it was a play that I saw Jordy Mercer make like a dozen times.
Jordy Mercer is an insane pull.
Dude, I used to love Jordy Mercer. He was my guy. and
I
Neil
saw
Walker.
another one. I saw another one where it was some like cross arm throw, and it's like, dude, every 12-year-old American boy can do this.
They're saying it was something else like, oh, they don't have, like, baseball players don't have the accuracy. It's like, dude, you do not even know what baseball players are capable of if you don't think they have the accuracy to hit
No.
if they hit like 3 poles right next to each other.
No, dude. Like cricket's cool, but baseball rules. And I don't think cricket Twitter knew what they were getting into. But it was a glorious couple days on the platform. I think it was the best days I've seen on Twitter this year. I think it was even better than, you know, when the whole show Parlay Otani thing was going on. That was pretty good. But I don't think it comes anywhere close to this.
Definitely not. The other most entertaining thing on Twitter is Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is peak comedy. Oh, shit.
All right, Mike.
I love it.
All right, you guys have anything before we close out today? Anything you're looking for in the Cardinals series or in Colorado?
Just for the pitching to continue to do good and hopefully eventually get some relievers.
500, man. That's all I'm asking. 3-3. No worse than that, please.
I'm just
I
saying.
think we gotta start asking for more than 500, Mike.
Oh, no. Trust
I think-
me. You think I I did not expect us to go 4-2 against the Twins and the Dodgers, but I'm saying like to keep momentum, at worst it has to be 500. That's what I'm saying.
The
I
one
do. I
thing-
expect.
Worst. Okay,
I
I'll
expect.
take that.
I expect the Pirates to win both series because they should. But does that mean they will? No. We beat the Dodgers in a series and we got swept by the A's in the same season. So take that as you will. But
This year reminds me kind of 2014, like a decade ago, because that team also got off to like a really bad start. And I was looking at it because I look at it every so often. We have like almost the exact same record as we did a decade ago to the day.
I mean, we've won what? I think we're 14-12 over our last 26, which is
And
a
it's
solid
the same
number.
thing. That team in 2014 also started to heat up around the same time in kind of late May, early June. And that team also didn't get till they went like from like the first week of April to the middle of June below 500, and that's kind of where this team has been too.
Hey, look at it this way: the
And-
Nationals won the World Series when they were below 500 at the All-Star break. So
Yeah,
I mean, barring any significant injuries, it looks like this team should.
we're going in the right direction.
They have
That's a
They have
good
nowhere to
thing.
go but up. Really, is what it looks like. With additional help, we can expect to come in through acquisitions at the deadline or guys getting called up, and then just continuing the development of guys, and then guys coming back from injury.
especially if we could stay within because right now we're like a game out of the wild card, I believe.
Yeah.
So
You're getting there. Yep.
we have a losing record. We're a game out of the playoffs right now.
See, that's the weird thing. We're in last place, but we're also like right there in the playoff race.
The National League, man, it's not as good this year
No,
across the board.
Man.
I think this is the weakest the National League has been in
Definitely a hot
dude, maybe
minute.
10 years, a while.
Yeah.
Because for a long time, it felt like the National League has been better, at least top to bottom, than the American League. This year, it's not close to me.
Oh, definitely not. No.
yeah,
But
because you
I
got
mean,
teams
yeah,
that are
this
like
this team could get going, and maybe we just need Jack and Henry to, seek some outside help, and then they'll get going too. Who knows?
Please
that's exactly
do
what they need.
something. Because whatever
Do
they're
what you
doing
do.
now is
All
not
right.
working. Damn it.
Well, pretty good weeks coming ahead. We're again, this is right in the middle of summer. But see you guys next week. Go Bucks!
Let's go, Bucks.
Let's keep that buck rolling.